Good morning, my dear students and all the teachers. This is morning, and I know it's very difficult to get up and watch the class, but you have to क्योंकि पढ़ाई भी तो ज़रूरी है. So आज हम आप लोगों के लिए लेके आए हैं एक poem Keeping Quiet. और उससे पहले हम आपको बता देते हैं this COVID appropriate behavior, right? COVID appropriate behavior, you need to wear mask, you need to maintain physical distance, and you have to maintain hand hygiene whenever you are going out or you are at home to keep yourself safe from this COVID pandemic situation. So today's poem is Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. So we need to be very serious when you are doing it. And before we start with this, meet the team. With our team leader Nandini Sarangal, we have Seema ma'am and me, that's Anjali Chauhan. And with us, there is an entire team on YouTube who's going to help you with your doubts in the chat box. So there is Swati Chaudhary, Poonam Sagar, Sonia Makhija, Rajni Chamini, Manish Sharma, and Vandana Harid. This is a wonderful team. And now we are moving on. And today's facilitators are that's me, Anjali Chauhan, and with me is Seema ma'am.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, dear students. I hope you're smiling and shining as always. So today, as Anjali ma'am has told you, we are going to do a poem today. The name is Keeping Quiet, and this is how it looks in your text, the book Flamingo. But as always, before moving ahead, let's talk about the poet Pablo Neruda. So who is Pablo Neruda? Pablo Neruda was a Chilean poet. So if we talk about Chile, that means we're talking about South America. So he was just not the poet, but he was also a diplomat, a politician, and he won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971. Neruda has wrote in a variety of styles. So his styles include historical epics, realistic poems, and prose autobiography, and of course, passionate love poems. But you know what is so special about Neruda? His poems are full of easily understood images, simple words. But that doesn't mean that they're not beautiful. Those poems are really beautiful. And his work has been extensively translated, and many of them in Russian as well as English. And if we can say what are his most famous poems, so tonight I can write the saddest lines. Don't be far off. When I die, die slowly. And as I told you, love poems. Here I love you. Okay, Anjali, over to you.
So, जैसा कि हम आप लोगों के साथ बहुत सारे गेम्स खेलते हैं, आज इस पोम को स्टार्ट करने से पहले हम आपके साथ एक गेम खेलते हैं. ओके, आपके पास हैं 30 seconds. What you have to write, whatever question we are going to ask you, you have to write the answer in the chat box as fast as you can. Okay, first thing that comes to your mind. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer. You can write anything you feel like. Okay, there may be many more than just one answer, and you can change your answer also if you feel like, right? So let's move on to the question. So this is the question: what is your favorite food? I guess ये तो कोई difficult question नहीं है. All of you can tell me कि आप लोगों का favorite food क्या है. मैं अपना बताऊं तो corner में वैसे गुलाब जामुन दिख रहे हैं, and I'm a sweet lover. I cannot resist sweets. So yes, मेरी तो बहुत सारे favorite food है. सीमा मैम.
Okay, children, so start writing. We'll give you 30 seconds. And of course, remember, you can change your answer as well.
गाजर का हलवा भी पसंद है मुझे तो. Pastries भी पसंद है. This is difficult to decide, Siva ma'am. It's just, and it's a thing that we do every day. We eat and we telling our mothers, "मम्मा ये मुझे पसंद है, ये मुझे नहीं पसंद है." But अभी आप एक पूछ रहे हैं तो बताना difficult लग रहा है, right? How about you, my dear friends? Quickly type in the chat box and tell me what is your favorite food.
They're writing, actually, they're writing.
Yes, pizza, burger, chicken, chole rajma.
Okay, so time's up. So let's see, you've written so many names are there. Anjali, can you name a few? How many children have given you some answers?
Sonam Sonia is giving a reference to PUBG also, winner, winner, chicken dinner. And there's some people are writing Burger, dosa, all. Rajma
Okay,
chawal, छोले भटूरे, all are my favorite. Pizza, बहुत से बच्चे पिज्जा लिख रहे हैं, चिकन
that's good.
लिख रहे हैं, राजमा चावल भी लिख रहे हैं. आप अलग से भी बता सकते हो, जरूरी नहीं है जो स्क्रीन में लिखा है उसी में से बताना है, right?
Okay, great. So we've began on a very, delicious note with your favorite food. But as Anjali had already told you, this is a very serious poem. So why are we showing you these favorite food and all that? So let's see why we need that. Now it is time to see how much you know yourself. You're telling us what your favorite food is. आप हमें बता रहे हैं आपका favorite food क्या है. लेकिन क्या? Did you think twice before you gave your answer? दो बार सोचा? क्या 5 seconds से ज्यादा लगे? Or did you change your answer? We told you can rewrite your answer. So did you change your answer? If your answers are mostly no, कि नहीं, I did not change my answer, I wrote it immediately, और अभी भी मुझे लगता है I'm going to stick to it, so then you're quite aware of yourself. You know yourself very well. But children, if your answer is yes, yes, it took me more than 5 seconds. Yes, I needed to change my answer. So children, you need to slow down. Dear students, you need to slow down and think about it and become self-aware. So anyway, for your answer, the burger says, well done, all those beautiful and delicious food items you've written. But again, why did we do this activity? To be self-aware and introspect. Now there's a new word that we're giving you, introspect. So when we see introspect, that means looking inside yourself. जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, अंदर झांकना अपने अंदर. So try to look into yourself and self-analyze what you're doing. So this is what we're going to read in today's poem, and it is all about introspection. So we said, okay, let's introspect. But what is the need of for introspection? Why do we need it? So in this poem, Keeping Quiet, Neruda talks about the necessity of not just introspection, but quiet introspection. And creating, why that is important, so that we can create a feeling of mutual understanding. Mutual, जब एक दूसरे को हम समझ सकते हैं among human beings. So that is important. So as you can see in this picture, we need to know ourselves. We need to introspect. So now, as it's a poem, so we need to recite it. Let's recite the poem.
So
Now,
now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing.
what I said should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. If we were not so single minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. So hopefully you also recited with us, and for you, this is, we're clapping for you. Children always recite the poem that we are doing here. Okay, now let's move ahead. We're going to show you some pictures. So the pictures that are coming on your screen, but keep them in your mind and try to analyze what they depict. Give a thought. What do you see in these pictures? someone is depressed, sadness, and finally, mad race for the goals set. हमने अपने लिए कुछ goals set कर लिए हैं and we are running after them. But before moving ahead and for the explanation, over to you, Anjali, for the poetic devices.
So आज हम थोड़ी सी poetic devices की बात कर लेते हैं, but हम आपको भी poetic devices बता रहे हैं क्योंकि we've been doing all these devices from the very beginning, and I hope that all of you remember them, but still we're giving you a reference. But during this time period, don't forget the pictures that you have seen. Don't forget the recitation of the poem we have just read. So this is all connected, right? So alliteration, it's the same sound. Remember, same sound is being repeated. Big burger, so burger sound is being repeated. Symbol, where an object, person or situation has another meaning than its literal meaning. कुछ कह कुछ रहे हैं और कहना कुछ और चाह रहे हैं, right? So that is symbol. एक चीज is representing let's say there's a leaf, it's representing life. So symbol. Repetition, when a word or a phrase is repeated two or more times. कई बार poetry में और songs में बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, words or phrases repeat होते हैं. Transferred epithet, when an adjective, remember, qualifying word of a noun. So adjective usually used to describe one thing is transferred to another. For example, cold feet. Probably the entire person is cold, but feet just referring to that person. So cold feet, khali feet cold nahi hai, puri body cold hai. So that is transferred epithet. Metaphor again, metaphor and simile, I hope all of you know. Metaphor and simile both are comparison. In simile we use like or as word. In metaphor we don't use these words. Irony, the use of words to convey a meaning that is opposite of what it actually is. और ये ज़्यादातर मजाक बनाने के लिए या किसी को contradict करने के लिए irony use की जाती है. Personification we all know when we are assigning the qualities of a living being, qualities of a human or a tree to non-living objects. So that is personification. Imagery, use of words to create a vivid mental picture or physical sensation. Right, the leaf fall. So हमें वो image create हो रही है कि that one leaf is falling down from the tree. So that is imagery.
Okay, so now time to introspect. The poem Keeping Quiet. And don't forget the pictures that I showed you. The poet here, he says, now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. So what poet is saying? He's saying we'll all count till 12. Why 12? That is just a speculation, and that is what is an interpretation. Maybe he wants to tell us all the 12 hours of the day of a clock, or maybe he's referring to the 12 months of a year. So he wants to involve each and every moment from our time. So he says we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. Still, ठहर जाओ, रुक जाओ, just still, be in one position. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. For once, he's pleading us कि कम से कम एक बार on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. किसी भाषा में, any language we should not use. And why should we not use any language? Because throughout the world, around the world, there are hundreds of languages. और अगर दो लोग ऐसे मिलते हैं जिनकी आपस में language match नहीं करती है, then there is a scope of misunderstanding, conflicts. तो ऐसे में let's not speak in any language. But of course, if we don't speak in any language, there is one universal language. Do you know what? It is silence. So if everybody is silent, then we are all together. So not only be silent, let's stop for 1 second and let's not move our arms so much. Normally हम लोग क्या करते हैं, अपने हाथ वाथ बहुत हिलाते हैं. So he's saying, sit in one place, be still and not move our arms so much.
सीमा मैम, over your arms से अभी मैं घूमने गई थी तो वहां पे सब जगह arms and ammunition, armory. So arms refers to the weapons as well. Why is there something, and you have also underlined it?
Yes, exactly. I really wanted you to bring this question because हमारे students भी ऐसे questions पूछते हैं, but unfortunately हम उनका जवाब नहीं दे पाते या हम उनको सुन भी नहीं पाते. So thank you, Anjali, for bringing that up. Yes, एक और interpretation इस arms का है, and that is arms in emotions. The poet wants us to throw away our arms, not move them. So that is one of the interpretation. So अगर हम gist की बात करते हैं, so the poet advocates silence. And why silence? Remember the word introspect. So be silent, be still, and introspect. And again, we're giving you the figure of speech or the poetic devices. We know that you know. So we're just giving them to you. For example, this is alliteration. And count to 12, simple because it is a measure of time, symbolic hai. Okay, we come to the second stanza. It would be an exotic moment. Exotic, unusual, extraordinary, something that is not seen before, rare. What moment when nobody speaks, everybody is still. सोच के देखो आप, कोई ऐसा वक्त आता है हमारी लाइफ में कि कोई बोल नहीं रहा होता, एक stillness. So it would be an exotic moment, don't you think? Without rush, without engines. Of course, जब आप सब still हो जाएंगे, ठहर जाएंगे, रुक जाएंगे, there'll be no rush. कोई भागम भाग नहीं. We are not rushing to the school. You're not rushing to the school. People are not running to catch their bus. Remember the picture? Without engines, no machinery, nothing. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. And when that moment comes, that moment of stillness, that moment of introspection, we would all be together. Of course, universal language, सब एक जगह हैं, एक साथ हैं, और वो कैसा moment है of sudden strangeness. Strange because it has never occurred before. It is such a rare moment and it has come to us, which is very important. So just an exotic, strange, unusual moment. And why it is important? Because we are all together. So the bond of humanity will get stronger. Again, we're giving you the poetic devices and alliteration बहुत repeat हुआ है इस particular poem में. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. Fishermen, cold sea, whales. Now, fishermen जो sea में है now the poet is writing cold sea, but in fact यहाँ fisherman is not just the fisherman. It represents the people in power, the people who have got the power to harm others. So the sea is not cold, the hearts are cold. They would not harm the whales. Lekin at this moment, whales, it represents the oppressed. The fisherman is the oppressor and the whales is the oppressed. Lekin jab aap ruk gaye hain, when you're still and you're introspecting, then you will not harm the whales. That means the people in power will stop and not harm others. And the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. और वो जो sea ke kinare, or he's gathering the salt for you, the salt that comes into your houses. He doesn't have time, but now he will stop and look at his hurt hands कि हाँ उसके हाथ hurt कर रहे हैं. Again over here, again, it is not just the man gathering salt and his hurt hands. It is every one of us, each one of us. We are running around, harming ourselves, and we don't have time. But again, agar ruk jayenge, ठहर जाएंगे, I'm just repeating the same lines because this is what the poet wants us to be still, to introspect and look at what we are doing to ourselves, what we are doing to our brothers. So this is what the poet wants to say. So as the poet, yes,
Ma'am,
yes,
over
Anjali.
here, salt is something that all of us eat, all of us use. Why is this salt and herd hands put together over here?
Okay, Anjali, see, आप हाथ में नमक लेके बैठ जाइए. Just put some salt in your hand for 2 hours, 3 hours. What you will notice is कि आपके हाथ कट गए हैं. एक जलन होगी. So हम तो हाथ में नमक रखते नहीं हैं. We are not the salt gatherers, but imagine those people who are gathering salt सारा दिन for hours together. They're holding sand. So it is a symbolic that the work we keep on doing can hurt us, but we don't have time for that.
So
Again,
gathering salt is something referring to all kinds of work that we do and we harm ourselves and not taking care of ourselves. Is it so?
Exactly, actually. So now we have fishermen, as I told you, it's the oppressor, it's a symbol, and again, whales is a symbol. Here, cold sea is a transferred epithet. Now, Anjali told you. Then we have hurt hands, the sound is repeating, so it's alliteration and symbol. For those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors. Now, this stanza is very important today. यहाँ पोएट बात करता है प्रिपेयरिंग ग्रीन वॉर्स, प्रिपेयरिंग जो हमेशा टाइम ढूंढते हैं, वक्त ढूंढते हैं, किस लिए? टू प्रिपेयर ग्रीन वॉर्स. ग्रीन वॉर्स, ग्रीन, दैट refers to nature, mother earth. हम लोग, we, it seems like we are after the mother earth, we are destroying it. Wars with gas, wars with fire. So you can see on your screen, we are damaging the earth. We are every day in war with the world. But what kind of war are these are victory with no survivors. Of course, agar war do countries ke beech mein ho rahi hai, somebody would be victorious and the other one will lose. But jo victory bhi hai, kya wahan log nahi mare? There are people, both sides, who die. So what kind of victory is that? This is victory with no survivors. But again, if you stop, you become still. You would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers. So what will happen? If you're again still and you're not doing anything, your mind will not be preparing any green words. आपका दिमाग ये नहीं सोच रहा कि अब इसको नुकसान कर रहा हूं, मैं ये पेड़ कटवा दूं, I should do this, or I should fight with my neighboring country. No, again, you are introspecting. You realize these wars are useless. Why am I harming others? So what will I do? I'll put on clean clothes. Now, clean clothes का मतलब यहाँ पे साफ कपड़े नहीं है. Every day we wear clean clothes. Over here, the clean clothes means my clean soul. If I'll introspect, I'll see that my soul gets cleansed. And what will happen if our soul becomes clean? We can walk about. So everybody becomes our brother. Brotherhood. We are talking about brotherhood. And what we'll be doing, we'll be sitting in shade, doing nothing. So what is this? Sitting in shade. See, normally हम जब अपने बड़ों की बात करते हैं तो हम कहते हैं कि उनकी छाया हम पर बनी रहे. छाया, that means we want our elders to be protective about us. वो हमारे ऊपर रहते हैं तो we feel protected. Again, if we cleanse our soul, we'll all become brothers and we'll protect each other. And we should sit in shade doing nothing.
Okay, Seema ma'am, one thing I can understand that wars are not good. Any sorts of wars and cutting of trees and coming up with everything concrete. Yes, the pastures are good, but doing nothing, do you think, is it a good thing that, doing nothing, we are not growing food, we are not uh, we are not watering plants and all this stuff. I mean, that daily thing that we have to do, doing nothing, oh yeah, I cannot understand.
Yes, exactly, Anjali. This is what the poet will explain in the next stanza. I know our students have already read it, but let's explain that. क्योंकि अगर poet हमसे कह रहा है doing nothing, so what he's saying, what I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Just as you said कि हम कुछ grow नहीं करेंगे, हम कुछ बनाएंगे नहीं, and finally what will happen? एक जगह बैठे हुए and finally will die. But he says, please don't confuse this doing nothing with total inactivity, because life is what it is about. Of course, life is about moving, going ahead, taking care of each other, loving each other, even if we are depressed, moving out of that. So life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. So I don't want any association with death. I'm not telling you don't do anything and go towards death. So this is what he means. I hope it is clear, Anjali, now.
Yeah, so means he's saying that we should just stop doing all these stupid activities, this mad rush that you showed us in the beginning, right?
Exactly. So usko stop करके, but do what we are doing. We are thinking, अभी हम कुछ कर रहे हैं, ऊपर से दिख रहा है हम कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, but actually we are doing something. We are introspecting. So brotherhood and holding hands. And of course, the gist is in front of you. What the gist about this poem is: And again, we have wars with gas, wars with fire, as it is a metaphor. It is signifying it's not war with gas, but of course, it gives it a meaning. So these are all the symbolic or poetic devices that you have. Brothers, as I explained, brotherhood, mankind. So he goes ahead with, if we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving. So what he's saying, काम करो, move on, आगे बढ़ो, but what? Don't be single minded. ऐसा ना हो कि घोड़ा जैसे यहाँ पे आपके लगा देते हैं and he can't see here, he can't see there, he's just running in one direction. Don't be that. Don't be single minded about keeping our lives moving. मैं, मेरा घर, मेरे बच्चे. Don't do that. And for once could do nothing. Ruko, at least once, perhaps a huge silence. So when you are doing a quiet introspection, तो वो जो huge silence है, वो जो silence आपके चारों तरफ आ जाता है, that might interrupt this sadness. So आपके अंदर जो sadness है, what is that sadness? Of never understanding ourselves. हम खुद को ही नहीं समझ पा रहे हैं. So अगर हम रुक के अपने आप को introspect करेंगे, I'll get to know what I like, what I don't like. जैसे हमने आपको activity कराई थी, एक simple चीज, what is your favorite food, and we had to think for so much time, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. क्यों? क्योंकि हमने कभी खुद के अंदर अपने ऊपर ध्यान ही नहीं दिया. So that is what is saying, अगर एक huge silence होगा तो this would interrupt this sadness and we will start understanding ourselves and then and threatening us ourselves with death. So जो sadness है, we showed you a picture of the depressed female and a man. So ये जितनी भी threatening चीजें हैं which causes us to go into depression, वो सब खत्म हो जाएगी. So we showed you the gist, and this is a picture drawn by our team leader, team member, and Swati Chaudhary. So we wanted to see a moment of peace will throw you in a ocean of happiness. And yes, the last stanza says, perhaps the earth can teach us. See, earth को तो सभी लोग एक teacher मानते ही हैं. Of course, earth is teaching us in a lot many ways. But here, what the poet says, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. जब ऐसा लगता है कि सब कुछ dead है, कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है earth पे. For example, आप देखिए मई और जून एकदम चिलचिलाती धूप पड़ती है and in that time look around you, fields हैं, आसपास है, it seems everything is dead. But then suddenly एक shower आता है, एक rain आती है, and after the rains, चारों तरफ हरियाली, the greenery everywhere, and little seeds that were latent, जो छुपे बैठे थे अर्थ के अंदर, उस soil के अंदर, they come to life. So जब हमें लग रहा है earth is dead, actually it is introspecting, it is doing its work, and it becomes alive. And now I'll count up to 12, and you keep quiet, and I will go. So the poet is now saying, remember, initially he said, we'll count to 12. But now in the end, he says, I'll count up to 12. And you keep quiet. मैं count कर रहा हूँ, तुम रुक जाओ. Keep quiet, introspect, and I will go. Because I have given you my message. I will move on and give this message to other people as well.
सीमा मैम, मुझे लग रहा है कि यहाँ पे I will go का कुछ और भी मीनिंग है, because this has been such a poem wherein every word implied something else and something
Yes.
something important. So what does I mean here? I will go.
Yes, अंजलि, एक जो हमने इंटरप्रिटेशन दिया that I will go away and spread the message to other people, यहाँ पे स्पेशली इसको रेड कलर में इसलिए किया गया, I will go away, you keep quiet. अगर आप रुकेंगे, आप इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करेंगे, then I, मैं, मेरे बच्चे, मेरा घर, मेरा school, so that that ego will go away. So this is one another interpretation of this line, that you keep quiet and definitely आपका वो I चला जाएगा, वो ego चला जाएगा. So here the gist, then again, earth is a teacher here, it is teaching us how silence is productive. So it is silence, but it is still productive. And again, we have the poetic devices because Earth has been personified as a teacher. So this poetic devices personification. Okay, over to you, Anjali.
ओके अब हम लोगों ने अभी ये देख लिया था कि पोएटिक डिवाइसेस कौन कौन से होते हैं और साथ साथ सीमा मैम जस्ट टोल्ड यू व्हाट आर ऑल द पोएटिक डिवाइसेस बिटवीन द लाइंस नाउ आई वांट टू सी हाउ मच हैव you understood. Quickly keep your fingers running and show me how much have you understood and how fast you are. Okay, now we will count to 12. ये आपको lines दिख रही हैं, यहाँ पे हमने कुछ words and phrases underline किए हैं. You quickly tell me we will on we would and sudden strangeness in me. Which poetic device has been used? Is it a simile? Is it an alliteration or an oxymoron? Quickly tell me in the chat box. I'm just waiting for your responses. I guess we've already received the answers, Seema ma'am. Yes, you are
Okay. Let
absolutely right.
but let others also write, Anjali. Let others also write. Let them think. Again we are telling you it is time to introspect. So give yourself some thinking time. So I want some other children also to answer this.
Okay, so let them introspect.
And maybe you can give a quite few names. They all expect, सब expect करते हैं बच्चे बैठ के कि हमारा नाम लिया जाए, हमारा नाम लिया जाए, because we usually have short time. लेकिन यहाँ पे we're giving your names as well. So Anjali, maybe you can give some names to us.
Dipanshu Goyal, Tanu Yadav, Deepti Chincholi, Simran Dalal, Sheetla Pandey, and Hackworld. Okay, Ayush Kumar. All of them are. Oh my God! All of them are writing correct answer, Seema ma'am.
Okay, so should we give them the answer?
Yes, of course. Very good, my dear students. This is alliteration because wo sound, sound, sound is being repeated over here. Let's move on to the next one. अब देखते हैं कि आपको ये वाला पता है या नहीं. So again, there is some part of the poem which is on the screen, and we have underlined one phrase. This is cold sea. सीमा मैम ने आपको बताया भी था कौन सा वाला था और अब मुझे आप चैट बॉक्स में लिख के बताओ कि which one of these poetic devices is cold C? Is it a transferred epithet? Is it alliteration? Or it's an irony? So अब आप मुझे quickly chat box में answer लिख के बताइए कि what is cold C? I'm waiting for your responses. Right, there can be a difference of 10 seconds, but yes, all your answers are coming to me. So cold C. Sit back, relax, introspect, and tell me what is cold C. And yes, we are already getting the answers, Seema ma'am. Let's show
Yes. Yes, okay. And I can just name a few. Noob Spray Gamer, Banti Kumar, Mahima Bhardwaj, Akash Kohli, Pooja Sharma, and Nidhi Singh. Actually, some of them have given a wrong answer as well. I'm reading mostly are giving some wrong answers. Let's give them a right answer. And Anjali, please explain because I'm seeing that all of them are giving wrong answer.
Okay, it's not irony, my dear students. Irony होता है जब हम किसी को कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट कर रहे हैं, किसी को जो हम बोलना चाहते हैं उसका ऑपोजिट बोल रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे हम लोग अपने दोस्तों में मजाक करते हैं कि अरे आज तो बहुत ब्यूटीफुल लग रही है, बट एक्चुअली उसने कुछ बहुत अजीब से कपड़े पहने होते हैं तो हम उसका मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं, राइट? सो दैट इज आयरनी. बट यहाँ पर क्या है दैट फिशरमैन इन द कोल्ड सी वुड नॉट हार्म वेल्स. Cold sea, okay? This a sea cannot be cold. It's the person or it's the feeling, the coldness in the heart is referred to here. So it's not just the sea which is cold, it's the person. Because when you are harming somebody, when you are taking a life, you need to be cold hearted. So the fisherman in the cold sea would not harm whales. So this is a transferred epithet. Cold, that cold hearted thing has been transferred to cold sea, but sea cannot be harmful to any of the aquatic life species. So
Okay,
that's
so
transferred
yes.
epithet.
Rahul Bhagat has given finally a good answer, the right answer. The right answer is transferred epithet. So let's move on to the next one.
Perhaps the earth can teach us. See, these are my favorite lines. Earth can teach us. So earth is mother. We always refer to earth as mother. धरती माँ और मदर नेचर, मदर अर्थ, बट यहाँ पे कुछ और हो रहा है. Perhaps the earth can teach us. So is it an alliteration? Is it a personification or a simile? Alliteration where the sounds are being repeated, personification where a person is an object is given the qualities of a person, and simile where there's a comparison between two stuff. So
Okay, so I'm getting correct answers also. Before we give them the answer, Bhushan Gopal, the first person to have given us the right answer,
I
and
give
then Anushka Puri, and many more are giving Ronak Nizam. So they are giving us all good answers, right answer, and the answer is
personification. Earth is teaching us. Earth has become our teacher. So that is why it is personification. Earth ko teacher bana diya hai. So you have well done, and round of applause for who got it right, but for those who tried. Okay, so
yes.
trying is important. You keep trying. Let's move on.
Okay, so now poem पढ़ ली, poem समझ ली. Now अगर बात करें in a nutshell, क्या करना चाहिए? So these three words, this is the nutshell. एक ही बार में आपको बता रहे हैं. Stop, रुको, ठहरो, think, introspect, and then act. Normally हम क्या करते हैं? Act पहले करते हैं. पहले हमारा गुस्सा करना, रोना शुरू हो जाता है, and then we think later on. But no, the right steps are stop. जैसे आपके रेड लाइट, ऑरेंज लाइट और ग्रीन लाइट होते हैं, लाइफ में भी सेम लाइट्स हैं. स्टॉप, think and act. And with this, I'll connect this message with a social message that we always give you. But हमने आपको ये शुरू में message नहीं दिया, we're giving it right now. And what is it? Red light on, गाड़ी off. Remember? Stop. Red light says stop. तो आप वहाँ red light पे stop कीजिए. Think आपने stop किया है, so the red light is for 30 seconds, 60 seconds or 120 seconds or whatever. So think and then act. रुको, इंजन ऑफ करो. सो युद्ध प्रदूषण के विरुद्ध. A small step, your small step can help in preventing pollution, or सिर्फ pollution नहीं, it helps in saving the fuel. So this particular message makes all the sense today with our session. Okay, now that we've understood the poem,
One
so Anjali ma'am, हम एक काम करते हैं. Let us sum it up with two beautiful examples or messages. You know why? क्योंकि इस poem में हमने दो बात की हैं. First is let's not harm others. But उससे भी ज्यादा important हमने कहा है let's introspect ourselves and not let harm ourselves. So पहले हम बात करते हैं let's not harm others also. क्योंकि ये इस एक स्टोरी समझ लीजिए, एक मैसेज समझ लीजिए जिसको हम कहते हैं रिस्पेक्ट द इनविजिबल लेबल्स. सो व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग दैट आई वाज जस्ट ड्राइविंग एंड अ पर्सन इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी ऐसे मूव कर रहा था अपनी गाड़ी में जस्ट लाइक अ टर्टल, यू नो, टर्टल बिल्कुल स्लो एंड नॉट गिविंग मी वे. आई वाज honking and he was not giving way, and literally I was on the brink of losing my cool. You know, आप road पे होते you lose your cool. So I was literally on the brink of losing my cool, and when I just moved ahead I saw a small sticker. उस पे एक sticker लगा हुआ था कार के back पे, physically challenged, please be patient. Physically challenged, you know, कोई ना कोई बॉडी में कोई प्रॉब्लम है जिन्हें हम कहते हैं special needs, people with special needs. So he was writing, it's written, please be patient. Immediately क्या हुआ, मेरा पूरा का पूरा attitude change हो गया. It changed everything and I immediately became calm. ऐसे ही होता है, we become calm and I slowed down. ठीक है, रास्ता नहीं दे रहा है, it says. And in fact क्या हुआ, I got a little more protective. उसका ध्यान भी रखने लगा. Just not became calm, I became protective. I reached home a few minutes late, but that's okay. कुछ देर लेट हो गया तो क्या हुआ. But then it struck me, तभी ध्यान आया कि क्या सेम मेरा एटीट्यूड होता अगर वो पीछे लेबल ना लगा होता. If there was not this label at the back of the car, then my attitude was entirely different. So why do we need stickers to be patient with people? Come on. क्या हर एक इंसान स्टिकर लगा के घूम रहा है on their foreheads? What kind of stickers we want कि हम patient हो, kind हो? We don't know a person. लेबल थोड़ी लगा हुआ है. Lost my job, fighting cancer, I have a problem, I have just got divorced, मेरा emotional abuse हुआ है, I just lost a loved one. Somebody died in my family. I'm feeling worthless. I'm financially broken. इतनी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं लेकिन माथे पे कोई लिख के नहीं रखता. इसलिए क्या मुझे लेबल्स ही चाहिए? No. What we need is just to stop for a while. Think about it. Just respect the invisible label कि हाँ हमारे सामने जो इंसान है, maybe he's going through a tough time. So be calm, be patient. So this is what Pablo Neruda talks about in this poem. And of course, Anjali ma'am.
So here is a story time. हमने अभी आपको पोम पढ़ाई, उसमें बहुत सारे मैसेजेस थे, सब कुछ देखा हमने. उसी को कॉम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए ये एक स्टोरी है. स्टोरी इज अबाउट Androcles and the lion. Okay, as you can see, lion is a ferocious animal. So story देख के पता करते हैं what is the message over here.
Knowing yourself sounds like a good idea, but it can be hard to see quite why it should matter so much. Once, long ago, there was a Barbary lion, 9 feet long, with a splendid dark mane, who lived in the forested foothills of the Atlas Mountains. Usually, the lion kept far from human settlements, but one year, in spring, he started approaching the villages at night, roaring and snarling menacingly in the dark. The villagers were terrified. They put extra guards on the gates and sent out heavily armed hunting parties to try to kill him. It happened around this time that a shepherd boy named Androcles followed his sheep far into the high mountain pastures. One cold evening, he sought shelter in a cave. He had just lit a candle and was setting his blanket on the ground when, to his horror, he saw the ferocious beast staring at him. At first, he was terrified. The lion looked as if it might be about to pounce on him and rip him to pieces. But Androcles noticed something. There was a thorn deeply embedded in one of the lion's front paws, and a huge tear was running down his noble face. The creature wasn't murderous. It was in agony. So, instead of trying to flee or defend himself with his dagger, the boy's fear changed to pity. Androcles approached the lion, stroked his mane, and then gently and reassuringly extracted the thorn from the paw and wrapped it in a strip of cloth torn from his own blanket. The lion licked the boy's hand and became his friend. Many years later, Androcles got into trouble with the authorities. He was shipped to Rome, taken to the Colosseum, and thrown before a lion to be devoured in public for the pleasure of the people and the emperor. But when the lion saw Androcles, he became quiet and went forward and lowered his head in a bow. It was the same Barbary lion Androcles had taken pity on as a boy. The emperor pardoned Androcles, and he and his lion lived together in Rome, and they used to go for walks together through the streets, with the lion peaceable and contented, led only on a slender leash. The fable can usefully be read as an allegory about self-knowledge. The lion is in terrible pain, but has no capacity to understand what is hurting him exactly, and how he might put it right. In his blind distress, he acts in horrifically aggressive and threatening ways. He makes blood-curdling noises and frightens everyone. The lion is all of us when we lack insight into our own distress. The thorn is a troubling, maddening element of our inner lives. A fear, a biting worry, a regret, a sense of guilt, a feeling of humiliation, a strained hope or agonized disappointment that rumbles away powerfully, but just out of range of our standard view of ourselves. But there's potentially another Androcles-like side of us, able calmly to see past the fury to what the problem really is, and then calm our untargeted anger and help us find constructive solutions. Knowing yourself sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so
बच्चों देखा आपने यहाँ पे कैसे एक मतलब there is this side, Androcles जैसी एक साइड है हमारे अंदर, बट हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि हम लोग उसे देखते ही नहीं है. That is all we need. We just need to see ourselves and a lot of problems will go away.
yes, we need to see our own pains so that we can work on them. Yes, the home assignment.
So when a man refuses to stop, introspect, and acknowledge the warnings of destruction of Mother Nature finds a way to heal itself. अब सबको पता है कि that we've been fighting, we've been cutting down trees in forests and laying down the roads of concrete and many more things. We are killing animals, we are destructing their habitats. But when we are not taking care of Mother Nature found a way to heal herself. How true do you find this statement in the light of the lockdown situation during the pandemic COVID-19? पोएट ने कितने टाइम पहले बोला था कि वी नीड टू स्टॉप एंड थिंक, हमने नहीं किया तो नेचर ये एक फोर्स्ड पॉज हो गया हमारे लिए. Now you need to write and comment on it in 100 words and show it to your teacher and discuss it with them.
Anjali, I'd just like to add that this pandemic time has shown us and taught us so many things. How to care for our family, कैसे family time important होता है, and of course nature is healing itself. आपने कितने WhatsApp पे और Facebook पे messages देखे होंगे जहाँ पे आपको पता चलता है कि migratory birds बढ़ गए हैं, नए rare creatures, birds have been seen. So all this, just 100 words, बहुत कुछ है आपके लिए लिखने के लिए. Just start writing. And of course, one more thing that we just forgot, जो वीडियो हमने आपके साथ शेयर किया था, so that video, Anjali, that was from
the School of Life, and we have used this video for only educational purpose. There is no monetary gain, and because it was very good, we have used it for the benefit of the students.
Yes, exactly. So we are really thankful to the School of Life, the channel, for letting us use that video. So, and we also acknowledge other resources we've used. And again, it's only used for educational purposes. कोई financial इसमें use नहीं किया है हम लोगों ने. And if there is any discrepancy, कोई भी गलत comment है, तो this error will be rectified accordingly. And Anjali,
thank you, all of you. We meet you soon. I hope you enjoy your winter.
Yes, and thank you from both Anjali Chauhan and Seema Kumar. And लेकिन एक थोड़ी सी दुख वाली बात वाली ये है कि हम अब आपको इस साल नहीं मिलेंगे, अब सीधा अगले साल मिलेंगे. You know why? Because it's Happy New Year next year. So we'll meet you after 1 year, wishing you all a very happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year. May you get the New Year, no pandemic, and we have a safe life. Thank you, and bye-bye. See you next week.
Happy New Year. Keep introspecting.
Yes.